What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to Boo TV. Like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate you for stopping in. Let's get into the topic for today. Now, the LA Times has recently compiled a list that is the 75 greatest Lakers of all time. And obviously, within a top 75 list, you're going to have a top 10 Lakers of all time. Now, a big conversation that has been spiraling around the NBA world is, where does LeBron James rank in that top 75 list? And is LeBron James a top 10 Laker of all time? Now, this is not a question of who are the greatest players to wear a Laker uniform, right? But more specifically, who were the greatest Lakers? What did you provide to the franchise during your tenure with the Los Angeles Lakers, right? Two different conversations, right? Now, with that being said, the LA Times has their top 10 Lakers as follows. Number 1, Magic. Number 2, Kobe. Number 3, Kareem. Number 4, Jerry West. Number 5, Elgin Baylor. Number 6, Shaq Diesel. And LeBron James sits at number 7 on their list. George Mikan at number 8, James Worthy at number 9, and Wilt Chamberlain at number 10. Now, I think the list is fairly solid. Whether you want LeBron James outside of your top 10 or inside of your top 10 matters not to me. I think there's an argument to be made. But one thing I do not think there's an argument for, and I think the LA Times have nailed this one, is that LeBron James does not fall within the top 6. Ain't no way in hell he's a better Laker than Magic Johnson. Ain't no way in hell he's a better Laker than Kobe. Ain't no way in hell he's a better Laker than Kareem. Ain't no way in hell he's a better Laker than Jerry West. Ain't no way in hell he's a better Laker than Elgin Baylor. Ain't no way in hell he's a better Laker than Shaq. Now, when we look at Mikan, James Worthy, and Wilt Chamberlain, I'm going to have to disagree. All right. Let's start with George Mikan. I have George Mikan ahead of LeBron James. LeBron James has brought one championship to the Los Angeles Lakers, and then the other 3 years, one championship, one finals MVP. Let me throw it in there. He's one championship, one finals MVP. But his other 3 years, the other 3 years were abysmal. They were not good. The first year, they did not make the they did not make the playoffs. Playoff mode activated. I haven't forgot that. And then the next year after that, they won the bubble. And then the year after that, they had a first-round exit to the Phoenix Suns. And then the year after that, they failed to make the playoffs. They actually only won they won under 40 games. I think 35, 36, 37 games. I think 37 games, something like that. 30-something games. And they still had a chance to make the playoffs via the play-in, and they could not do it. Albeit LeBron James did not play because of injury. I understand that part. All right, but fact of the matter is they did not make the playoffs. So outside of that year where they won that championship in the bubble, and I'm not discrediting that championship for the bubble. I'm not even taking that route. All right, so outside of that, his tenure with the Lakers has not been good as far as team success goes. All right, George Mikan, if I'm not mistaken, has 4 championships with the Lakers. Back then, they were the Minneapolis Lakers. That boy led that franchise to 4 championships. I think back in the 1950s, 1960s, something like that. But with that being said, I'm not going to, his numbers weren't as good as LeBron James. However, I'm not going to sit here and start to really compare eras like that. I can only take comparing eras so far, right? They almost exist within their own world to some regard. All right. Moving on to James Worthy. James Worthy has one finals MVP that I believe he got in 1988. To go along with 3 championships with the Los Angeles Lakers. And he was a very important member on top of that. Granted, what the hell? He got a finals MVP. So I look at that and I'm like, his tenure with the Lakers was also better than LeBron James. And then we go down to Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain played, I think, 5 years with the Lakers, something like that, 5 or 6 years. And Wilt also has one championship and one finals MVP to match LeBron James. But LeBron James' other years are nothing noteworthy. So I would have to put Wilt ahead of LeBron for that reason. I think Wilt averaged like 20 something rebounds in one of those finals. I think. Don't quote me. I think. I mean, dude was no joke. So at this point where it stands, based on my synopsis, LeBron James would currently be sitting at number 10 for me. However, pause. I would like to make a case for Pau Gasol. Now, hear me out. I know people are going to send flaming arrows my way. Hear me out. Do I think Pau Gasol is even on the same stratosphere as LeBron James, even on LeBron James' wavelength when it comes to being a player? Absolutely not. All right. But we're talking tenure with the Lakers. Now, Pau Gasol wasn't just some role player. All right. Pau Gasol was an all-star. Pau Gasol was not a superstar. Don't get me wrong. He was not a superstar. He was an all-star. At no point during Pau Gasol's tenure with the Lakers was he ever a top 10 player in the league. No, I can easily rip off 10 players better than Pau Gasol during his tenure with the Lakers, given any season. All right. But Pau Gasol was one of the better power forwards and one of the more skilled power forwards in the league. And sometimes he did play center. And when he did, he was one of the more skilled centers in the league. Arguably the best passing big man in the league during that time. And while he was not a superstar, like I said, he was an all-star. And he was Robin to Kobe's Batman. And Kobe Bryant, as great as he was, does not win those 2 championships without Pau Gasol. He does not go to 3 straight finals again with 2 championships and does not get those 2 MVPs, finals MVPs, and his 1 MVP that he got in 2008 without Pau Gasol. Pau Gasol was an integral and very important part to that championship run. All right? Now, sometimes I think people like to overvalue Pau Gasol in that championship run. They try to make him seem like he was a top 5 player and that Kobe had a super team. Cut it out. All right. That was not a super team. And Pau Gasol was never top 5. So while he was very valuable to that championship run, some people like to give him more credit than what he deserves. However, I give him his roses, and I call it how it was. They don't win those championships without Pau. He was an all-star. He was Robin. He was an important piece in the triangle, and that triangle offense did not fully come together until Pau Gasol got there. And that completed that smooth triangle that they were yearning for when they had Kwame Brown. All right? So given Pau Gasol's 2 championships, and those years that he played with the Lakers, they were always a playoff contending team for the most part. Before Kobe tore his Achilles. Before Kobe tore his Achilles, they were always a playoff contending team. They always had a winning record. They did not miss the playoffs. They got 2 championships and 3 straight appearances in the finals, and he was a very important member to that franchise during that time. I have to put him ahead of LeBron James. I felt like he has way more value in the Lakers organization than LeBron has had thus far. Could things change for LeBron James if they win another championship? Absolutely. Absolutely. I might definitely slide him ahead of Pau. But as for right now, I have LeBron James probably sitting at number 11 without giving it much thought past 10. And I'm going to have to put Pau Gasol as number 10 on my top 10 Lakers of all time. That's me taking everything into putting everything into context. What happened? How good was this player? How many championships? How good were they individually? And even the years where they did not win the championship, how was the team relevant? How relevant was the team? When I take all that into consideration, I got to put Pau Gasol at number 10. I'm sure a lot of people will disagree with me, but that's just my take. Not saying that he's a better player than LeBron James. Obviously not. All right. LeBron James, in my opinion, is the 3rd greatest player of all time. All right. All right, y'all let me know what you think about that one. Am I out of pocket for putting Pau Gasol at number 10? Where do you have LeBron James in your top 10 Lakers of all time? Does he crack your list? If not, what is your ranking outside of the top 10? Let me know what you think about LeBron James' tenure as a Los Angeles Laker. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for stopping in. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you all on the next one. We out, baby.